What's going on, YouTube? So recently I made a pretty big decision. I withdrew from college for the second time. Now, the first time that I withdrew was about a year ago. I was basically just in a program that I did enjoy what I was studying. I just didn't feel like that specific program was necessarily for me and that I was benefiting from it as much as maybe some of the other people that were in it. So I just basically made the decision to leave it and kind of, not put any more money or time into it. I didn't feel like I was benefiting from it the way that I wanted to. So I kind of just went about my life and worked a pretty normal job for a while and kind of just was figuring stuff out. At this time, I'm not even competing in games at that time. I didn't really have any teammates. I was playing solo, of course, here and there, but really had nothing going on as far as the competitive thing was concerned. So that wasn't really on my radar as far as doing that full time at that time anyways. So fast forward to now. I went back to school and I was in business school with a major in marketing, which I completely love, by the way. If you know anything about me, I'm very business oriented. I love the world of business. I love everything that goes into it, and specifically I love branding and marketing and that sort of thing. So I was definitely in a program that I enjoyed studying. What ended up happening where I live is that the professors from all the colleges in the province I live in Canada, ended up going on a strike. So basically we were out of school for 5 weeks straight, even though we paid for an entire semester, and the teachers were not working, they weren't teaching us, and they were protesting basically to get better contracts for working because a lot of them weren't full-time, a lot of them were just on part-time contracts, and they basically just wanted more job security, which is completely understandable. And I wasn't mad at them or anything about it, but after the 5 weeks when we returned, it definitely did mess up kind of my course load and just basically how my semester should have went. Now, in the midst of all this, I got one of the biggest opportunities of my life when I was fortunate enough to sign with OESL, which is the organization I currently play under with my team Northern Express. And basically we got a team pass for MLG New Orleans. We've been grinding every single day for pro points and just improving ourselves. So I've been very busy with that. I've been streaming almost every day and making these videos for you guys. And on top of that, I still do work a normal job just for some extra money. So I ended up getting very, very busy. Basically, in the span of a few weeks, I ended up flipping my lifestyle completely and turning gaming into a full-time thing. I was also lucky that they were offering a full refund for any students who withdrew because they felt that the strike kind of messed them up too much, whether they want to just restart or they just want to get out of school and stay out of school. They were giving all the money back that you paid that semester. So I honestly looked at it as that couldn't have come in a better time at all. I would say that this single thing happening is the best definition of the term blessing in disguise that I've ever had happen to me personally. Well, for pretty much everyone, the strike was awful. It was a super negative thing. No one was happy about it. It actually gave me the opportunity that I've been looking for my entire life. Getting signed with OESL, and then on top of that, being able to get my money back and leave college for any extent of time is giving me the opportunity to 100% put everything I have into this, into my passion, into my dream, and into what I want to do. Now, the great thing about college is that it doesn't have an age restriction. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have already. All it matters is if you have the passion and you want to learn, then you can go. So there's absolutely nothing stopping me from going back in the future and definitely finishing out my course and getting my diploma when I graduate in my marketing major, which I do at this point 100% plan to do. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do that, just because it is really hard to kind of predict at this point, just because of all the things that have been happening and all these amazing opportunities I have. Well, that kind of gets me into what I want to talk about today, which is just following your passions. Don't be afraid to take those risks. If you put it in perspective like this, I'm 21 years old. I don't have that many people that necessarily count on me in the sense of maybe compared to, say, a 40-year-old man who has a wife and children, who has a house that he has to maintain and pay for, and already works a career 9 to 5, 5 days a week. It's very hard for someone like that to just completely drop that, or not necessarily drop those things, but completely flip their lifestyle just to take a risk and go after something that they've always wanted to do. I think it's very important as young people, like myself, that we can not put ourselves in a box and realize, like, when any opportunities come, that it can be really beneficial to just take advantage of those opportunities. No matter how small they seem at face value, you never know what may come out of that. Honestly, when I first ever met the owners of OESL, it wasn't a huge thing that really I thought that would even manifest into. It seemed like a very casual just connection of meeting a new person and, you know, just people who are fans of games, and it was really cool. And you know, over a span of a couple of months, that just kind of snowballed and turned into what it is now. Now we play for them, and that's amazing. We're going to New Orleans in less than a month to compete for $200,000. So it's, you know, it's an amazing thing, and it's just something that at the time I would have not thought that that was a possibility that would happen from meeting them. But it's because I put myself out there and I took that opportunity, as small as it seemed at face value, because I know that there was nothing bad that could happen. I could only benefit from it. Even if this didn't happen, you know, I'd still have that connection. I'd still have more people, more resources. You know, every small opportunity still helps you in the grand scheme of things. And honestly, nowadays more than ever, anything that is your hobby or you're just passionate about, you can honestly find a way to make money doing it. Look at 1940, for example. I know it's a really long time ago and probably an extreme example, but just look back then, you couldn't do what I'm doing now. There's no gaming, like there's no tournaments, there's no MLG, nothing like that. Even if you fast forward to a time like the 60s or 70s, which is a bit more recent, you know, there's so many just obvious kind of roles you had to fill and jobs you had to do. And again, if your passion is something that happens to fall in one of those very common jobs, that's 100% okay. Completely go for it. All that matters is that you're passionate about something and that you're really working hard to at least know that you tried to pursue your passion. Now, nothing ever works out 100% of the time. We don't always achieve success in every single thing that we try, but I think the most important thing is knowing that you did try and you really put everything that you could into it at that time. And at that point, you really should have no regrets at all, because you know and truly in your heart that you didn't just give up the opportunity, and you're never going to be wondering what if. It sounds really cheesy and you probably heard it a million times, but I'm a really firm believer in the saying that 99% of the time people don't regret the things that they did, rather they regret the things that they didn't do and wish they had. And I really believe that to be true, because, you know, if you take advantage of every little opportunity that comes, then you're never left wondering and guessing like what may have happened with that, because you tried it and you found out what happened, whether it was something amazing or, you know, nothing really at all. But either way, you found out and you did what you could do in that situation to try to pursue it and see what could happen, and, you know, take that risk and, you know, you're probably a little bit afraid. It's normal to be nervous and afraid, like making these big adjustments. You know, I was just in business school doing really well, and now I'm not in it at all. I don't go to school at all. So it, you know, it can be kind of weird. It's a big difference, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm following my heart, and that's really what matters. Things like money and status and things like that don't matter at all. They're trivial. Even you'll hear the people that have some of the most money in the world say, you know, before I had money, I thought getting money and fame would make me feel a lot better in the like problems I was having, and then I got there and realized that like I had the same problems and it didn't fix anything, and I got even more kind of sad and like depressed even. And that's really what it is. It's just not, it's a facade. It's not real. I'd way rather look back at the end of the day and say, in my lifetime, I did all these amazing things that I wanted to do, formed and kept up on all these amazing relationships with amazing friends and family that I had, and really just know that I was someone who led a life of passion and, you know, joy, and really went for anything that I felt really strongly about. And that's how I want others to remember me as well. I'd say like the best legacy one can leave behind is one of passion. So thanks for listening to this video, guys. That's kind of going to do it for that. Just wanted to kind of let you know about, you know, a big decision that I made in my life, and kind of a little bit of insight behind why I made it. And honestly, that's kind of the philosophy I use to make a lot of the decisions that I do make in my life. And I personally think that it's a pretty fulfilling way to live, and I've definitely been very happy and fortunate for the opportunities and the people around me. And I'm going to continue to just, follow my dreams and, take those risks when they appear. And I hope that you guys do the same, and that you can, find some amazing opportunities through that and like fulfill some of your greatest dreams. But thanks again for watching, guys. Remember to like the video, comment below, and subscribe if you're new. I don't know if I'm going to be doing more of these like kind of motivation Monday videos. I did that one, but honestly, like sometimes they feel a little bit cheesy, the topics. I'm sure you can get where I'm coming from on that. This one, however, I really did want to make because it is something that it was a big decision I recently made, and I kind of want to share that with you guys. And I thought that maybe you could benefit from a little bit of insight on, why I would make that kind of decision and maybe implement some of the thought in your own life. But again, I don't know if I'm going to keep it up weekly or anything like that. Let me know below if you do like it, if you want to see it. I can definitely do it. I have a lot of topics I could talk about for sure. Another thing I'm going to be starting is more regular vlogs. I actually only have the one right now, the Seattle travel vlog, which you should definitely go check out if you haven't watched it. I'll link it in the description below. But I want to do more just kind of regular vlogs and like lifestyle, like kind of just what I get up to. The only thing I'm kind of just still hashing out exactly how I'm going to do that, because if I have a really boring day that I really didn't do much, which does happen, I don't know if you guys necessarily want to see that, or I just don't want to bore you guys. I want you to have good content to watch, I'm very quality over quantity, but at the same time I do need to keep up a certain amount of quantity, especially starting now. I'm really going to be on the YouTube grind, so I'm just going to hash that out. But definitely be sure to know that you will have more vlogs coming your way, more lifestyle stuff, and definitely more gameplay stuff, because we're playing every single day. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.